Okay, it is 10 o'clock. I will call the Harrison County Commission meeting to order for March 9th, 2022. If you would rise and join. Patient pledge, please.
Heavenly Father, we just come to you today. It would be wrong this time to start with anything but to be praying and pray for peace and healing for all that's happening to innocent people because of our human hearts craving power and the need to, I don't even know what, Lord, full of hate. I ask for blessing for the people in this room to have peace and kindness in their lives. Let this meeting go smoothly for all who are involved. Let us all return home safely to our homes this evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a few people signed up for public comment. Are you, any of you with the 10:05? Okay,
We're 10:05. Yeah, about, yes, there are 4 of us here with 10:05.
okay, is that Brian?
That's me.
Okay, you're not here for that.
No.
Okay. What about Randy?
I'm here, right here.
Okay, and Amber? Okay, you're not here for the 10:05. Okay. Okay, so Randy and Amber. I'm not even, starts with an Stephen?
Yep.
You are with your?
Yep.
Okay. So Brian,
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak. So my name is Brian Alois, and I am U.S. Senator Joe Manchin III's Deputy Outreach Manager. And so Mike Garcia, who's covered this area for a long time, he's out training with the National Guard right now, and we're awful proud of him. But we just wanted to basically maintain that open line of communication, ensure you had someone to reach out to you if you ever have an issue that you feel Senator Manchin might be able to help you address. So I just came down to introduce myself and listen and learn and blanket the county with my business cards. So, but thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
thanks for coming. Nice to meet you. Mr. Hinkle, Commissioner Hinkle is on Zoom, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. You all have a 10:05 appointment, so we'll hear from you at that time, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay, consent agenda. What's the pleasure?
motion approved, please.
Motion to approve consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I failed to ask if there is anybody on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly. Anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Hearing none, we will go to number 3, payroll change notices. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved, please.
Motion to approve payroll changes A through D, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Number 4, minutes and or amended minutes of previous meetings, A through C.
Motion approved, A through C, please.
Motion to approve A through C under 4. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, requisitions, purchase orders, invoices as shown on A. Vendor requisition list of payments. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved.
Motion to approve 5A. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I'd like more information on 38057 and 38082.
Three 38057, and what was the other one, sir?
38082.
Those are the demolition and work on the dugouts at Spelter Park.
At Spelter,
Yes, that is correct.
and who paid for that demolition?
That is coming out of Parks and Rec.
Does Parks and Rec own that park?
We are still trying to work together with Parks and Rec to get these baseball fields up to par as they should be. They are fully aware of this. We all went out there together working on this project. Do they own it? It is not currently in their name.
Trey, is it legal for us to spend their money on our property without an agreement in place?
Commissioner Hinkle, as you're aware, actually Laura and I met yesterday morning for about 2 hours to work on the transition memorandum of understanding with the ultimate goal of creating an autonomous Parks and Recreation Commission / board. We're just not there yet. As you are also aware, there's a transition period which is going to take place, and we're going to have to continue to operate as we have historically, because all the property is titled in the Harrison County Commission. And we have historically, we being the Harrison County Commission, helped fund the Parks and Rec activities, remediation, repair, benches, dugouts, drainage issues, and we're going to have to do that for some period of time. Certainly, the goal, consistent with the memo I drafted previously, is to create a more autonomous Parks and Rec board. We're just not there yet.
I'm not sure I understand, make a more autonomous. That was done years ago. One was established. You still haven't answered my question. Based upon the levy was the money was given to Parks and Rec for use with Parks and Rec items. Again, my question is, these parks belong to Harrison County, and we're spending levy money on our property, not theirs. So I would like a legal opinion on that, please.
In terms of spending levy money on our property, not theirs, it's kind of a distinction without a difference, because they have historically operated all of our property. And that's what we're trying to do in the memorandum, which is hopefully going to begin with the next fiscal year, is to clearly delineate that they will receive allotments of levy money in quarterly installments, just like the other entities, and they will then migrate towards a more independent status. We're just not there yet because it's been run this way forever. But that is certainly the goal, with a clean, I say clean break date. It's not going to be a clean break, but tying it to the next fiscal year, Commissioner. In terms of, is it legal? It's how it's always been operated by the county.
Well, that doesn't mean it's legal, and I would like a legal opinion if we are allowed to spend levy money that was given to the parks on Harrison County property. I think that's a pretty, I don't think there's any question there on what I'm questioning, on what I would like the information. I see that we have all kinds of stuff where we're spending money on our parks, not their parks, using Parks and Rec levy money that citizens of this county gave to Parks and Rec to spend on themselves, not on our property. So
Understand
we
the
can play this, we can play the semantics that this is what we've always done. I'm asking for a legal opinion if they can use that levy money on our property. Thank you.
Okay, and what I'll need, just since we're talking about it, is I'll need the prior levy order to have for my file. I'll then look at the statutes and the interplay and get you a written opinion if that's acceptable.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Commissioner Fritz.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No,
Please note the opposition, and it is now 10:09. We have a funding request for the 2023 World Association of Marching Bands Show Bands, Randy Sanders and others.
Mr. Bean.
identify yourselves for the record?
Absolutely.
Would
My
you-
name is Randy Sanders, and I'm the president of the World Association of Marching Show Bands 2023 competition.
My name is Haley Congress. I'm an administrative assistant.
And we have with us other representatives as well. We have Stephen Walovich, and we have Amber also from Orion Strategies.
Thank
you. All right, thank you. Commission President Thomas, Commissioner Treecost, and Commissioner Hinkle. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today and submit a request for an event that I've become very passionate about. As you know, the Buchanan was chosen by the World Association of Marching Show Bands to host their World Championships 2023. We'll be hosting an event that in the past 26 years has only been held in the United States once, and never before on the East Coast, putting a global spotlight on our corner of the world, more precisely on Central West Virginia. Let me provide a little background to you about the World Association of Marching Show Bands. They have a huge presence amongst the marching band community internationally, with memberships held on all 6 inhabited continents, with 32 nations representing 24 band associations, their bands, and of course, each and every band member. WAMSB is a nonprofit volunteer-based organization that began with a handful of band directors who realized they shared a lot of the same interests, requirements, and concerns relating to the competitions their bands were participating in. The World Association of Marching Show Bands quickly grew from a few ambitious directors to a worldwide network of passionate, dedicated educators and leaders cooperating to improve competition standards under these common ideals. Their yearly meetings, pre-COVID that is, were attended by nearly 10,000 attendees. They created this organization as a central force to ensure fair, standardized competitions and a stronger sense of community amongst these bands. Now, they continue to maintain a classification standards known as World One standards, sanction regional events, and operate the World Championship for Marching Show Bands in a different nation each year, which is their main event, and at the event that we are hosting in 2023. So if WAMSB is the NFL of show bands, we're hosting the Super Bowl. These are world-class musicians that deserve a world-class stage, and we have been granted the privilege to host their biggest event. Now it's all eyes on us. As of yesterday, 46 bands have applied to participate in our event. We're still well ahead of our June 2022 deadline for the applications. And we continue to have pretty consistent applications coming in. Most likely we'll reach over 50 applicants by the end of the application period. Ultimately, we will not be hosting that many bands, but of course it does raise the possibility of a huge influx and huge representation of bands from around the world. Now, so far, the registered bands are all international, and they come from countries such as Angola, Southern Africa, the Bahamas, Brazil, Canada, Colombia, Costa Rica, Czech Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ecuador, El Salvador, Germany, Guatemala, Honduras, Ireland, Malaysia, Mexico, Netherlands, Poland, and I'll stop there for just a second. As was mentioned in the opening prayer, we all think of Ukraine, and we have a band director in Poland who is experiencing the effects of the outbreak with the influx of immigrants, and can actually has heard some of the missiles because he's very, very close to the border of Poland and Ukraine. We're in constant contact with him. He's working on the visa applications now for his band members to come here. So again, I'll join Commissioner Treecost and extend our prayers and thoughts, for those folks. Also, Switzerland, Thailand, Uruguay, Venezuela, and Vietnam, which is interesting. Vietnam has never submitted an application in over a decade to be a part of this competition, but they're intrigued with the fact of bringing their band to the United States. So we're also looking at recruiting domestic bands. And we're working now with some of the band directors throughout West Virginia, throughout the United States, to have domestic bands participating, at least for exhibitions, trade features, and other opportunities. So next, we're looking at what this means for us locally, regionally, and beyond. To host this event is a privilege, and we as a community, a region, state, and nation have been granted the opportunity to extend American hospitality to the world. I see it as a way to revisit one of the core values we have as a nation, and that's to provide a foundation for people from all around the world to gather safely and do what they love to do. And in turn,
we allow our citizenry the experience to celebrate in a week-long event of music, diversity, and wonderful competition. So the event is much bigger than the community of Buchanan, even bigger than the state of West Virginia. I'm sure you all heard the phrase, music is a universal language, and it's true. You don't have to know music theory or play an instrument to enjoy music in its many different forms. Our state tends to slip through the cracks in conversations about the United States as a whole. And the national media isn't always the kindest to the folks of Appalachia, but we have a lot to prove, a lot to offer. And we often act like we lack the platform to do it. This gives us the platform to do it. We're going to have the eyes of the world on this competition as we stream it internationally. We have an invaluable opportunity to showcase ourselves in an undeniably positive light. Marching bands, as we all know, are a huge part of the American culture, a symbol of joy, celebration, and pride that is timeless and universally enjoyed. Now, this event has the potential to catch the attention of citizens across the country, drawing in people to experience the hospitality, kindness, and capability of our people, as well as the beauty and opportunity of our home among the hills. The global spotlight of this event can help foster international relationships with our educational institutions, municipalities, elected officials, and stakeholders, creating opportunities for possible long-term business relationships. The same applies with these kind of professional relationships within the United States. As far as an economic impact, local economies such as Harrison County are expected to benefit greatly from this week-long experience, expecting thousands of attendees, leading the area to experience a large short-term economic boom during the event week, benefiting local businesses and generating revenue through the hotel motel tax and sales taxes collected. The magnitude and allure of the event can extend the economic benefit to the rest of West Virginia and beyond. As we know, late summer to early fall is said to be the peak tourism season for our state. So the timing of the event and atmosphere we will be creating may inspire new people and businesses to put down roots here while bringing new faces to the existing businesses of the area. So to do this, and to do this event with justice, we need adequate funding. The more funds we have access to, the better the experience will be for the participants and spectators alike. We are seeking several $100,000 to cover the initial cost of the entire Wandsboro World Championship week. The city of Buchanan has granted $100,000 to help with the planning and production, while the bulk of our funding is expected to come through art grants and corporate sponsorships. The Wansby Host Committee, like Wansby itself, is a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, meaning that any and all and proceeds from the events will go right back into the music and art programs in our area. So we are now launching an aggressive fundraising campaign aiming for monetary and spoken support from municipalities, corporations, moneymakers, and influencers in West Virginia and across the U.S. We're hoping to appeal to the emotions of potential sponsors who may have ties to the world of arts in every area from oil and gas, medical, food and drink, etc., offering incentives and advertisement for our supporters. We've already arranged to meet with some companies such as supply instrument manufacturing giant Conn-Selmer to discuss sponsorships and support for the competition and or the musicians. And of course, we're here today speaking to you as our neighbors who will provide the visitors to this event access to your hotels, your motels, restaurants, the mall, and retail businesses of all types. In conclusion, the Wansby Host Committee respectfully asks the Harrison County Commission to contribute $10,000 to the event and become an official sponsor. The success of this event leads to the success for the entire region, and we want Harrison County to be a partner in all of this. So I will be happy to answer any and all questions you have at this point.
No, it's exciting. Yeah, and we do want to contribute, Madam President.
Let's see if he wants. Did you have any questions, Commissioner Hinkle?
I cannot hear what Commissioner Treecost said.
I was just going to make the motion to allocate $2,000, sir.
I'd like to amend that motion before.
Did he say how much?
Commissioner Hinkle, we didn't hear an amount or an amendment.
I move to amend to $4,000.
All right, that. Commissioner
I
Treecost will
think
accept
what we'll get in back will dwarf that amount of money. that'll come into our county during that time period. I think it's a small investment for what they're trying to do.
And Commissioner Treecost doesn't have a problem with that amendment. Any further discussion? This is going to be exciting.
This is exciting.
Is this
Well,
high
you-
school, college, or?
You know what, it's a lot of high school bands, but a lot of community bands. In the other
Okay.
countries, they really experience a lot of participation in what's called community bands, so they have members of all age groups. We have one, I gotta tell you, we have one band from Guatemala. I don't know if they're gonna make it. They're working on their visas now, but they have 600 members in one band. If they make it here, believe me, we're gonna be so excited to have them participate. We have a grand feature, our grand feature parade will actually have more international participants in it than any parade in the United States, including the Rose Bowl, all of the parades put together.
Where will most of this take place? I'm assuming.
Well, the competition will be on the Ross Field at West Virginia Wesleyan College. We'll be rebuilding their infrastructure a bit there. And then we're going to be having exhibitions throughout the area. We're looking at a partnership with Stonewall Resort, maybe do some exhibitions there, but throughout the county and possibly, we'll be talking to the BOE here, the Board of Education. Maybe we can do a few things here as well, some exhibitions. So it's a possibility. It's all fluid right now. So as we work towards that, but it's a very exciting thing.
I saw those two having a conversation back there because I was going to say, talk to him, maybe. He might be able to help you out.
Yeah,
Well-
we shared contact information. I'm looking forward to learning more.
We've actually spoken to both Senator Manchin's office, Senator Capito's office. We have ongoing conversations. Amber can fill you in on that as
Yeah.
well. So, yeah, we're looking forward. We hope both senators will be here, both U.S. senators and of course the governor, Department of Tourism, where we're talking to the West Virginia Department of Tourism now, the Arts and Humanities Council with Randall Reed Smith. So, yes, very, very excited.
His brother's a mortician here.
Pardon me?
His brother's a mortician.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, yes. Oh, I think I know. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, so
It
one's
is.
in the music, one's in the.
Mhm.
Okay, the motion's been made for $4,000. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Ah,
Aye.
It's unanimous. We appreciate, the Longview Committee appreciates your participation. And we'll look forward to working together with you on a, joint conference, press conference, maybe doing the presentation and going forward.
Don't hesitate to tell Agnes in Lewis County that we need that.
Pardon me?
Don't forget, hesitate to tell Agnes. in
Oh,
Lewis
Agnes,
County
yes.
that we need that.
I do know Agnes, exactly.
Get him the-
And now that the vote is done, I have to say very quickly, and I won't take much time, that I really enjoyed, I worked with your mother quite a bit through my work with the Miss West Virginia USA pageant. I produced that event as well.
Thank you.
So Corky she was a delightful soul through all of areas up here. And Commissioner Hankel, I believe you were on the state board for Miss America, is that correct?
Yes, my wife was the executive director for several years for the Miss West Virginia.
We miss her presence. She did a fantastic job. So
Thank
again,
you.
thank you for your time. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Be careful.
Okay. Number 6, exonerations, corrective tickets, joint property applications. It appears that we have exonerations and joint property.
Motion approved A and C.
Okay, motion's been made to approve 6A and C. Is there any discussion? Thank you. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, number 7, consideration of approval of a project fund requisition for the payment of costs associated with the project to be financed from proceeds of the Series 2019 bonds issued for the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District, Series 2021 A and B Development District Number 3, White Oaks Project Number 2, and Series 2008 A Charles Point Project Number 2, Northland Bay. We have A through G requisitions. What's the pleasure?
Approve all as stated.
Okay,
Please.
approve numbers 7, A through G. Motion has been made. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
F and G.
okay, what's the question?
One, there was, as of February, there was discussions And I'd like to know who from us, as the bond issuers, who was there for the discussion with Brian Crumbeck, Barker or Baker regarding any defaults, and who was there on 222 as far as a review of bond documents on that invoice. So I'm not sure exactly why we're being invoiced for something that we weren't part of, or if somebody was there, they could please tell me.
I would imagine that Tommy Amon, since he is our counsel for this, would have been present.
Did we authorize to look into default? That's my question. And if we did, why weren't we there as a representative for the commission to know what was being talked about? So I have an issue with those payments. And I also have an issue with the payments on invoice 1035089. All the work that was done on our behalf that I don't remember and can't find in the minutes, and if you all can find them, anything that has to do with Genesis Partners, Jim Christie, merger of Charles Point and Airport TIF districts. There's several references to that. Also, there's a reference to the county commissioner requesting documents. And I want to know if those documents are can be made available to the other commissioners and who requested those. So I think there's probably any invoice that has to do with the airport joining the TIF. I challenge that they should be in this bill and being paid.
Okay, I understood that you were questioning 7, F, and G.
F and G, I pulled it.
Okay,
And then Commissioner, you said one other invoice. Is it one that you're referencing that is in the packet, F and G, or was it a separate one that?
Just an F and G on invoice 1035090. There was a discussion just as recently as February that there was a meeting that occurred to discuss the bonds and status of the development. And I would like to know why we weren't notified or allowed to participate in that, considering we are the bond issuers. And I'd like to know why we're being billed for something like this. And I would also like the information that came from that meeting. And then on 1035089, I can give you the dates. 7/16/21, 8/02/21, 8/03/21, 8/04/21, 8/10/21. And the one thing in particular I would like more information is the invoice that deals with 8/3/21 documents for county commissioner. I'd like to know which commissioner received those documents and why they weren't made available to the other two commissioners. And I'd like that
Commissioner-
document made available.
Okay. I'll definitely get with Tommy Amon and go back. I'm sorry that I don't know offhand back in August, but I thought those were documents that you were requesting.
No, ma'am, I've never requested anything about a TIF and with the city of Bridgeport or the airport. And the last time I talked to Tom Amon about information, he informed that unless the commission gave him permission, he did not answer to any commissioner. So my motion is to remove those from approval for payment until there's a better discussion on why they're on the invoice.
okay. Commissioner Hinkle has made the motion to approve with the exception of F and G. Is that correct? On number 7.
No, ma'am, you can pay F and G. I'm saying the dates that I named
Oh, okay.
on the invoice of last 3 numbers of 089, those items should be pulled from the invoice to better explained.
So you're
And
just wanting to take those charges off of the invoice is what your
yes,
motion
ma'am,
is.
and on 090, anything dated 221 or 222 need to be pulled from the invoice till we receive information.
Okay, can you do this for the record? So John can take note, please. What ones you want pulled and what invoices they are on and the dates.
Invoice 1035089, date 7/16. Date 8/02, date 8/03, date 8/04, date 8/10, all of 21. Invoice 1035009, dates 2/21/22 and 2/22/22.
That's all of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's your
Otherwise,
motion.
I'm fine with paying the rest of the bill.
And that's your motion.
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. So we'll go back to Commissioner Treecost motion to approve number 7A through G.
But let me amend that, Madam President, that Mr. Commissioner Hinkle does receive the information that he's requested Mrs. Pease to get. Let the county administrator get. Okay.
And amending the motion so that Commissioner Hinkle can get the information from Steptoe or whomever that he needs, that he requested. Okay? All in
Madam
favor?
President, just at the, can Mr. Treecost make that in a motion? Because Mr. Amon has pointed out that he will not reply to any request from an individual. It has to be as the governing body.
Was part of his motion. Please make sure that that gets in the record, please.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Number 8, consideration of approval of project fund requisitions for the payment of costs associated with the General Services Administration Building Project to be financed from proceeds of the Series 2020 bonds issued for the Harrison County Building Commission. A, requisition number 52, Rycon Construction for $1,169,944.47. I think I said that right.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 9, review, discuss, consider transfers regarding current budget, county clerk 21-22. You're just moving money from lines within your own budget, which is correct.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve the budget revisions of the county clerk for year 21-22.
Mhm.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, review, discuss, consider budget revisions for the prosecuting attorney 21-22. Same thing.
Motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Number 11, review, discuss, consider business zoning compliance for video lottery gaming for Alley 304. What's the pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none.
I only have one question on the application where it says two. There, it's all blank. So was this to the county clerk or to the administrator or to planning? I just,
It's
would-
actually, sorry,
go ahead.
this one came into the administrator. And I'm sorry, we should have filled that line out.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, number 12, administrators report.
Yesterday, we had a really nice rally outside to show the support of Ukraine. Thank you to Tom Dyer for arranging the event. It was nice to see RCB and Notre Dame there attending. I believe Trey touched on it earlier, but we sat down yesterday for about 2 hours to work on the MOU between us and Parks and Rec, because I know that's important to get done. We want to make things happen, especially starting with the new fiscal year. I sent out an email about the budget work session for either next Wednesday or Thursday. Please respond, give me your input of what you would rather see or any thoughts on it. And last week we had a contractors meeting for the GSA. We spoke about our past walkthrough and the progress, which I think most of us are pretty happy about. Rycon is also working on getting us an updated schedule of the building. And that is all.
You know, between Susan and David, I'm good Wednesday or Thursday at 12:30.
I'll be traveling those days, so I'm only available Friday.
Okay. Do you have a time frame on Friday? Or is it all?
Any time in the morning.
Well, I'll send out some emails with some updated options so we can try to plan on this budget work session. And that is all.
Mr. Hinkle, do you have any comments?
No, only that going forward, maybe we could look at using for meetings when we have issues like this, is use a program called Doodle. I use it with other institutions and it makes it very easy for everybody to pick times and dates for meetings, and gives you the ability to maybe get it done a little simpler. So I would ask staff to look at Doodle going forward. That's all.
Commissioner Treecost?
You know, only that the administrator had mentioned about the air conditioning units at the
Sheriff?
Chestnut Street, yeah. They still have $21,000, and you said that was the cost?
Yes.
Go ahead and do that, because that money's still in the money that'll be borrowed out of the 400,000.
Okay.
So, you know, let the sheriff know. And then there was a requisition about fixing the fence.
Correct.
Well, wouldn't that be under warranty? The fence is brand new.
I don't believe it's under
I don't think
warranty.
you get a warranty with it.
I will ask the sheriff and I'll double check on that one.
Well, that officially puts us over the $400,000 mark that I promised everybody in the world I wouldn't let happen. Remember, that building was supposed to be ready to move into when we moved into it.
I will get with the sheriff.
Yeah, and asking where, because we're over budget now. We need to know where that money's coming from. Okay. That's all I have, Madam President.
I don't have anything.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.